Alright everybody, today's video I want to do a little more in-depth of how I hang my stands and how I set those up. So as you can see behind me, we got our brassica food plot mixed with some clover. That's doing really well. I think we're what, in a month and a week or so of growing, so that's not doing too bad. Our big one's kind of lacking a little bit, and I think that's because of the mixture. Brassica does better alone, but that's not what this video is about. So as you can see here, I've got a trail cut. I like cutting my trails just because I want to be as quiet as I can possibly be when getting into the stand. I don't want to be brushing up against this stuff. Plus, I think that, you know, when you touch this, you're going to leave your scent on it, and you leave your stand and the deer comes up and investigates that, they're going to smell that and follow it right up to the tree. And that's why I like trimming everything down. So if you want, come follow me. Alright, as you can see, here's our first stand. Well, probably my favorite setup, and the reason why is because the placement of it. With us being up on this hill, and if you come back here and look behind me, it drops off right here immediately, and it's actually pretty steep. It's not too bad over here. The deer like to travel up this nose, that's why that clearing's right here. But back here it gets really steep, it gets really thick. Nothing can really come through there. So what they do is they like to bed up on this hill back over here, way back there, about 100 yards or so, some of them on the side here, and they can't see you getting into the spot because you're coming up this side. You got all the foliage in between you. Everything's covered. We're not accessing from the food plot anymore. But I think my favorite thing about this spot is the thermals and how the thermals work here. So we used to have a stand back over here about 20 yards or so, and we noticed that when the deer would be down here on the bottom and our wind would be blowing that way, they wouldn't smell us, and we'd sit there and think, why is that? And when you're up higher on a point like this, your scent's up higher. It's carrying over the deer. So, you know, if you're up in a tree 25 feet and it's known that it takes what, 60 yards, 100 yards or so before your scent to disperse. Well, what do you think it is when you're up on a rise? And the cool part about it is, like I said, with it being so steep back here and so thick, it's thick over here, but it's very thick here and really steep. They like cruising this side over here. And another part of it is we got our mock scrape right out here, right at bow range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to climb up the tree, and then we're going to go ahead and pull you up, and I'll give you a view up there. Alright guys, this is the next spot I was telling you about. So same thing, cut trail. Got to rake it out a little bit, same with the other one, with the sticks here, but that won't take long. Could just do it with the boot too. Alright guys, here's the next spot. So this is right in a pinch. It kind of widens out this way, and then it narrows down right here and widens out that way. So we're kind of on the mouth of the opposite side. And again, you know, west winds blowing right out from where we came from in that field, and that's right next to our cabin. Nothing ever goes out there other than a couple does in the corner, but it's usually blowing straight towards the cabin though. That would be west that way. So we'll sit on this with any sort of westerly wind, with deer coming this way, and they like to stay on this side cruising this thicket. going towards the bedding area there, and then our main food plot is way out that way. So we've got a little kill plot out in front. It's got some clover, and we'll throw some rye in it, and then we've got our mock scrape over there, which has been getting hit all year round. Same thing with the one back over there, but I'll climb up here and I'll give you guys another view of this one. Alright guys, so this is the kill plot. We got lots of clover coming up in here. Nice trail coming right through here, right in range. And then as you can see out there, there's the pond over there. So it narrows down right here and it widens out right here. So this is a great place to catch them on, especially if you got a westerly wind, which is typically what we get here. This is why we set it up, that tree right. Here's a better glimpse of that tree if you come over in here. You can get a look up there. Great cover up there too. Definitely a good spot for a crossbow, so there's not as much movement. I couldn't get it anywhere else but on that side, but like I said, clover in here, even a crab apple tree there, mock scrape just over here. That's the one that's been getting hit like crazy. So that's what we got. All of our stands are like that too. We try to set them up based off from wind, and you know, the main reason I do that, obviously you don't want to get busted, but the deer, that buck's going to use the wind too. So a good example is if you've got a wind coming this way and it's not gnarly thick over here, he's going to cruise this edge smelling anything from over here. We got does that bed over here and then does that bed over there. That's why he's coming through here. He's trying to get to that bedding area. But what they do is when they get past this point, they go that way and they skirt this edge, because it's open hardwood out there. The deer usually don't go back there. That's another reason why it stands there. The wind blows off that way in the open hardwood. But they're cruising this edge and they're smelling anything in this thick stuff. So that's why we do it. We always put our stands, we base the stands off from wind, because one, we don't want to get busted, but two, that's what that buck's going to do, especially the mature buck. He's using that wind. He's not going in just randomly into a spot. When he's leaving his bedding area based off the wind. And he's going to the same destination, but he's going to do a different trail to get there based off the wind. Same thing with that big buck I shot last year. He would work the north line when we had a south wind. It's all thick over there, that food plot on that north side. He'd work it with the wind blowing just like this. And then if we'd have a west wind coming like that, he'd be coming this way, cruising it just like that. He'd be working this thicket, smelling anything coming like this. So think about that when you base your stand, or you're looking for your stands. I'm sure a lot of you guys got them up by now, but who knows? I've definitely hung a stand in the middle of November before and killed out of it, so it'll definitely work. We call those one night stands. So just think about that. Don't just sit there and go, I'm not gonna hunt because the wind's not right for me. You can go into a spot and the wind's perfect for you, but based off that spot, is the wind perfect for him? You got to put that together. Is the wind perfect for that buck that I want to shoot? If not, then you might as well go off to a different spot or try something different, go sit at home. But that's the tip I got for you. Base everything off the wind, not just to get busted, but what's comfortable for that buck, because that's what he's going to do, especially in a pressured state. So hope to see you guys soon. God bless.